Miate, July 3rd. And as you know, this is a Christelle Nadia podcast. In English, the podcast is every Tuesday and every Thursday. In French, en français, the podcast is Mondays and Fridays. So July 4th is tomorrow. And Miate, because I always celebrate the 4th of July. It's my way to just show how thankful I am to America. You know, I wouldn't be who I am without America. I left Cameroon at 14, and despite all of my struggles in America, everything that I'm telling you about, I am very, very grateful for the United States, for the Americans with Disabilities Act, the ADA. Without the ADA, I wouldn't have been able to make it in America. When I came to the US in 1993, I believe that it's the only country where, with my disability, I can make something out of my life. It would have been way easier to stay in Cameroon, to take advantage of my name, comfortable life, but it was impossible. Given the rejection of my environment, when you're very ambitious and you feel like your environment is very, very limiting, you look to America. At least in my time, America was the land of the possible, especially for a physically challenged woman of color born in Cameroon. I had just said to myself, I'm going to go to America. And of course, Miante, New York. If you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. So, July 3rd, and I wanted to talk to you about New York, my favorite city. If you ask me, what is the city in the world that defines me, that I know the most about, that I feel at home in? If I have to name one, I would say New York. New York is still the city where I know where the best coffee shops are. I know where to eat a good pizza. I know even the best French restaurant. People, even though they're tough, fair, New Yorkers are decent, That was always what was very, very surprising to me. In New York, even though you can get robbed, you were still able to find decency. People who help. I remember after my first surgery, I was walking, to go from my office to the UN. Walking in New York is always possible, which is one of the best things in New York. And this lady slows down her cab and says to me, "Can I give you a ride?" And I was like, "No, thank you." But it felt amazing to be seen. So New York to me, even when I'm away from it, is still my city. Whether I'm in New York or not, I listen to WNYC. I listen to Brian Lehrer. I listen to All Things Considered. I listen to all of those shows because it's the way I grew up. It's the way for me to, whether or not, I'm in the US or not, to still feel connected. So July 3rd, the day before the 4th of July, I wanted to talk to you about New York and Zohran Mamdani. Zohran Kwame Mamdani. My favorite thing about Zohran Kwame Mamdani, he is Mira Nair's son, Indian-American filmmaker. And she made one of my favorite movies of all time, Monsoon Wedding. That movie is underrated. Mira Nair as a filmmaker is underrated. So it's not surprising that she's Zohran Mamdani's mother. She made Monsoon Wedding, which is a masterpiece. It's a feel-good story. It's not in your face, but still, it makes important points about family, diversity, sexual abuse, family dynamics, India, modern India, immigration, marriage, very, very good movie. New York politics is just amazing. But that says a lot about our time. Colorful people. The city is very, very diverse. I'm not optimistic, but I'm very, very enthusiastic. I'm trying to be optimistic about Zohran Kwame Mamdani. In the Trump era of politics, in a city as diverse as New York needs somebody to basically make the point that diversity is not just a slogan. It matters. And that even within minorities, there is diversity. It's not because you are different, that you are a minority, that you think the same, that you are the same, that you have the same story. That's why I like Zohran Kwame Mamdani. I like the complexity of his story. I even like the fact that he has to navigate to so many hurdles to appeal to New York. I like the way he went by taking on Andrew Cuomo. And I like the fact that he's not running away from who he is. Do I like the socialist thing? Well, being an international person, I know the difference between being a socialist and being a communist. Do I feel worried about his program? Free buses, grocery stores, and everything else? Yes. But the most important thing is what he embodies. Zohran Mamdani is bigger than his program, than everything that I feel iffy about. He is making the point that diversity is a complex issue. Throughout the Kamala Harris campaign, there was this thing, the DEI hire. They made the same point about the Baltimore mayor, basically saying, no, he's just there because of diversity. He didn't earn it. If he weren't a minority, he wouldn't be there. That was the point about Kamala Harris. They were saying that if she weren't a black or multiracial woman, she wouldn't be the vice president, she wouldn't be the candidate. And I think that not having a primary didn't help. So with Zohran Mamdani Niente, I like the fact that he went off primary. I like the fact that he defeated Promo, who had money on the establishment with him. That's good. And I'm hoping the race in November is a tough one. I'm hoping they come after him. I'm hoping that Trump comes after Zohran Kwame Mamdani and that he wins. I don't want the race to be easy. I don't want the message after he wins in November to be it's a liberal city. New York is just different. It's not like the rest of the country. It's not like the rest of America. So New York has a communist mayor. I want him to have a tough race. I want a debate. I want him to just show that he is good because he's good. So that if he gets elected mayor, that he goes through that tough race and that knows that nobody's going to give you shit. If he's able to do that, he's going to be a force in American politics, at least in democratic politics. Yes, I'm hoping that we get to see him more, that he's able to show what is the key about diversity. We are not all the same. We have stories that matter. Zohran Kwame Mamdani story is amazing. It shows that when you get to New York, you are able to find your voice, to find what works in America for you, to become a socialist, to look to AOC, Ocasio-Cortez, Bernie Sanders, or to look to Trump and to be like Vivek Ramaswamy. Different path. And that's Miante, that's the point. So, on the day before the 4th of July, what I wanted to talk to you about the diversity of New York, of America. And I think that the most scary thing about this time, not only in America, but in the world, we can make the same point about that I'm trying to make about New York, even in Cameroon, even in many countries in Africa. Diversity. It matters. And when the best are able to compete and to win, it makes a huge difference. It improves the quality of the debate, the political debate for everybody. It does. In Cameroon right now, quality of the political debate is awful. At some point, they just decided that what mattered was loyalty, obedience. So by talking about Zohran Mamdani, you can make that point that stories. He was born in Uganda, which is great. It doesn't make him an African, but it makes him aware of the world. And I like that part of New York, of America. An America that is very American, but also worldly. People can come from all over, from countries which call shithole countries, and be great Americans and great people and international. So that's what I like about Zohran Mamdani. Zohran Mamdani. Yeah. So New York, my favorite city. I hope that Zohran Mamdani wins a tough but a fair race. And at the end, he's able to make New York great again, human again. Mamdani, fresh, new, inexperienced, but it's bigger than that. We need people who are not afraid to try something new, not afraid to be themselves, and who will tell the truth and not fear offending. Sometimes, Miente, the truth is offensive. You have to tell the truth to people, especially when you're trying to do things differently. You can't listen to people who say, no, that's not the way we do things. Use the same playbook. And that's the point in New York. And that's also the point, Miante, about the moment in Cameroon. Authenticity matters. Quality matters, Miante. You can't just say, be a conformist. Given what Trump is doing, given the moment in the world, something else is needed. Competence, yes, but also genuineness, authenticity, new ideas, and a real debate. Miante, Mamdani, I think he's great for diversity, given how much it has been battered. Give the pushback against that. For people who look like me, who are not trying just to be heard by saying, oh no, I want to be the diversity person. I am different. Mamdani is different, but when we do the job, merit here matters, New York. Need Zohran Mamdani. Rome. Niente, happy 4th of July. Enjoy the weekend, the long weekend. And I will see you next Tuesday. Please subscribe and you can email me. The email is in the description of this episode, Niente. So, go! Zohran, on reste ensemble.